Okay, hello everybody, and welcome back to Virtual Freshers 2021. As you know, I'm Carolyn, part of the Learner Engagement team, with your interviews all lined up this week. Today we have with us Rowena. Hi, Rowena.
Hello.
Hi. Would you like to tell everybody what it is that you do and who you're with?
Hello, so I'm Rowena. I'm from Feeling Strong, as you can see on the t-shirt. And we are a mental health charity in Dundee, and we work with young people aged 8 to 26. We do lots of different, our services are quite broad. We do a peer coaching and listening service, which it's not like therapy, but it's like if you have any problems that you want to talk about, and that can range from like the stresses of everyday life to long-term mental health problems. And if you're wanting to just have an ear to hear you about it, that's our like peer coaching and listening services. But we also have like activity nights, and what that means we've got our art night, which is every Thursday. We've got photography night, which is every Wednesday, and we also at the moment have a thing called trail therapy, which is basically mountain biking around Dundee. But we aim basically just to improve people's mental health and well-being, and you can be referred to us through just through yourself. Like if you think that's a thing for me, I would love to like meet people with that, and I'd love to talk to someone. Or you can be referred through your employer or through your educational organisation. So yeah.
That's fantastic. And we know, especially here within learner engagement, and we've also got a wellbeing team within our area, we know how important these activities
Mm.
are for young people. And we too also do like outdoor education and get people out and about and walking and cycling and the arts as well. It's just you really appreciate how important it is. To
100%. Yeah.
it's so key.
Especially like after being stuck in the house for so long,
Yeah.
pandemic wise, like just getting out there. And I think a lot of people actually have thought, like, have been like, I just want a new hobby.
Mhm.
And I think Feeling Strong is quite good for that,
Yeah.
just the range of different things that we're trying to offer.
Yeah, we totally agree how important that is. You were talking there about getting in touch. What we're going to do at the end of this live in the comments section, we will share all your links and your Facebooks and emails and things for anybody that does want to get in touch.
Brilliant.
And there'll be a little bombardment of information goes up at the same time. You've got some lovely materials for everybody to kind of meet your team as well. So we'll share all that
Yeah.
as well. Great. So, Rowena, we're going to do a little get to know you section
Cool.
here. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions, all right?
Okay.
Right. Would you rather wear shoes that were too small or trousers that were too big?
Oh, probably trousers that were too big, because at least then you're a bit more comfy and you can get a giant belt and tie it round.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we've all been there on the night out and the shoes are killing us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Are you more of a horror movie or action movie
Oh my
person?
God. Absolutely action movie. I can't even sit through. Everyone always says Paranormal Activity is not a horror movie because it's so bad. It's just like, meh. But even that, I can't even sit through that. So I am absolutely action movie.
You know what? I think everybody said that. I've seen everybody seems to be terrified of these horror movies. Do you have any favourite action movies or action heroes?
Ooh, I mean, I went through a phase of being into all the Marvel movies, but after like the big giant ones like Infinity War and oh my God, what was the other one called? Endgame. After they came out, I was just kind of like, all right, that's that.
Done.
But like, I still enjoy them, but
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Okay. Did you find it really difficult to keep on track and get them all in the right order? Because I know
I
some
don't think so, because I like
ones.
started seeing them while they were in the cinema,
Right.
and then occasionally I'd be like, oh wait, where does this one fall into place?
Yeah.
Like with Captain Marvel being in the 90s and stuff like that. But I kept seeing those like things on social media where it was like the chronological order of it all.
There's
So,
yeah, there's definitely a right and wrong way to
oh
watch.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like how with Star Wars, people are like, oh, do you watch it in the order they came out, or do you watch it in chronological?
Yeah.
I always think the order they came out in.
Cool. Okay. Um, if you could eat one thing forevermore, what would it be?
Roast dinner, like Christmas roast dinner. I know it's not one thing, that's like a lot of things. So I kind of cheated, but
Yeah.
just oh.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose though, isn't there?
Yeah, and like a bit of like stuffing, gravy, like the whole lot. But I can't think of one food. It would probably end up being something quite basic like chocolate.
Oh yeah, you can't go without chocolate. Although it's the pigs and blankets that cause a fight in our
Oh,
house.
pigs and blankets.
We'd each count. Oh wait a minute, you got one more than me.
Honestly, yeah, you start counting them out, being like, right.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay. Do you think you would rather be endlessly rich or immortal?
Oh God, that's a difficult one. um, Not to get like too deep on it, but probably endlessly rich because if you were immortal, nothing would have any meaning anymore because you'd just be like, all right, I'm gonna live forever, so it doesn't matter. But also, if I was endlessly rich, I'd want to like do half decent things with it. I wouldn't want to like be a Jeff Bezos, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Do you prefer online or face to face?
Face to face, absolutely. Online is, although I think online can be quite fun, and if you don't want to like if you don't want to get dressed up or anything, then that's good. But face to face is just 10 times nicer for like tone and body language and all of that. So definitely.
It's been so good. I mean, we've been very lucky that we've had this lovely blend and everybody's managed to adapt
Mm,
quickly. And there are some days when it's great. You can have a meeting in your jammies and your slippers. It's the news
yeah,
from the top up, you know. But yeah, we really have missed kind of being face to face. And
definitely.
I think it's good for a lot of our students as well. And the impact that you've seen, especially the impact that lockdown will have been having on youngsters
Hmm.
and on their mental health and their well-being, and you guys will have seen that. So the face to face
Yeah,
is such a key part of that.
definitely. And I think also in our like office just for Feeling Strong, we started doing it very blended. Like since everything was at home during like main bit of pandemic, now there's some meetings where like some people will be in person and some people be online and things like that, just to kind of cater for everyone's needs. And
Yeah.
it's quite good. I like that.
Yeah. Are you seeing any hesitancy coming through from your young people in terms of re-engaging face to face? Are they preferring to hide at home, or do you think they're
Um,
getting back?
At the moment, I don't think so, especially as most of our young people are like school and college age.
Mhm.
Since people are at school and at college, I think a lot of them are more used to the face to face than, say, older people. Um, so there's not been too much hesitancy, which is so lovely. But like, I think if there's all for our like peer coaching and listening stuff, we do offer it like you can either be face to face in our wee like listening rooms, or you can be like on Zoom or on a phone call. Because even though some people might be like ready to come in face to face one day, you never know about like the next week. They might be like, no, Zoom call for me. So like, I just think Zoom, especially, or this or whatever, like it just opens up like different levels of communication, which is nice.
It does, yeah. And I think we've seen a little bit of it, kind of a bit of an increase in sort of social anxiety among youngsters. Some of them
Definitely.
have got so disengaged, and it's so important for them like that to get back in and back into society and mingling and mixing with people again. Yeah, yeah, great. Okay, so just while we're on the whole face to face online, have you ever had any online mishaps over the last 18 months or so? Oh, I sense.
I can't believe you asked this. I once went on to this was in the first like couple of months when like Zoom like parties were like huge. And you know how you can put a background on Zoom or Skype or whatever? Um, I had put a background on and I'd forgotten to take it off. And then the next day I had a Zoom therapy call. And the moment between like ringing the therapist and her picking up, I could see that my background was a picture of all of my friends drunk as anything. Like in the embarrassing bit, everyone knows the type of photos that I mean.
Yeah.
And in order to cover up the people in the photo so that my therapist wouldn't see them, I had to just put my face really close to the screen. And she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm just going to hang up. I'll call you back in a wee second." But managed to save it. So that was
You styled it out.
honestly.
Yeah, I think we've all been there, and I think it's so refreshing. I like our students to hear these stories, and especially like some of our colleagues, and we've been interviewing some of the managers in the college. I think it's so good for the students to hear that, you know what, we get it wrong as well.
Oh yeah, like we've all been there.
Yeah, because some of them are coming into college this week and they're brand new, and this whole online learning is completely new for them, and you can see that they're panicking a little bit and they're trying to check which buttons do they need to press.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit anxious about it, so it's so good for them to see that yeah, we get it wrong too.
Oh yeah, and like we're all human, and like there'll always be, even though people have been online meetings and all that kind of thing for months, there'll always be someone who is new for like, and that's absolutely fine. We've all
Yeah.
been there.
And there's always going to be that delivery that rings the doorbell, or the dog starts
Yep.
barking, or the cat
The
walks.
cat comes in. Yep.
It's always going to happen. I interviewed our student president yesterday, who shared a lovely story with her about her, I think it was her 3-year-old son decided to streak naked around the house while she was on a board of management call. So, you know,
Oh God.
I think it happens to everyone. Yeah, it happens to everyone. Okay, so last question. Just think back to perhaps when you were a student,
Mhm.
younger self, and if you were starting as a student this week, what advice do you think you would give your younger self?
Probably that I was very, very anxious when I was at uni. And I mean, I still am, but you know what I mean? Like uni, the environment was like the anxiety building when I'd go into lectures or like tutorials or whatever. And probably would be the advice that people aren't obsessing over you doing everything wrong or right. Like if you're walking into that room and you're being like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't know if I'm saying or doing the right thing. What are these people going to think? They're probably not, is the answer. It's probably absolutely fine. And even if it doesn't feel that way, just getting your foot in the door and sitting down in the chair is the worst and most difficult part. And once you're in the room, it gets easier from there on.
Yeah. So just kind of face your fears, throw yourself
Absolutely.
into it.
It
Yeah.
can be so, so difficult, but like it's always worth going in, sitting down and being there.
Yeah. Because I mean, that fear can be so all consuming, but like you say, what you're worried about probably hasn't crossed anybody's mind. That's not what they're
Yeah.
looking at when they
And
see.
like I know that everyone, whenever you're, yeah, like when you're in anxiety, obviously it's so easy to be like, oh, it's all in your head, which it is. But that like almost saying like nobody actually is gonna care,
They're
that can be a good thing.
so absorbed in their own
Yeah,
thinking, and the things you're
exactly.
like,
Everyone's feeling the exact same
yeah,
and just showing up is the most difficult bit, but it's so worth it.
yeah, it is, guys. So anybody that does feel like that, please stick in with it. Like you say, I'll put all the information up on this chat for everybody who wants to contact Feeling Strong, and don't forget about all the services as well that we have here in the college to support you. You know, right across the college, we've got this lovely wraparound service. You can always stop and talk to somebody. You're never going to be stuck. So yeah, if anybody is feeling a bit anxious or a bit worried about anything, you know, come and ask for help from
And
anywhere.
also, if anyone wants to even drop into Feeling Strong, you can like mention my name if you want, Rowena, and say I was on the Dundee and Angus stream,
Yeah,
and I'm happy to chat to anybody.
fantastic. Well, as I say, I will share all that contact information on this chat afterwards. So, Rowena, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And to everybody watching, thank you for watching. And we hope to speak to you all again soon. Bye bye. Thanks. Bye.